Tonight on Star City Sports, we talk to a former Husker and Olympic medal winner who now is dominating in the pros.
Big Red football comes to Memorial Stadium on Saturday to give fans a peek at how the new-look Huskers will perform in the fall.
We'll have the score updates on who is leading at the Masters.
All this and more live on Star City Sports.
Welcome to Star City Sports. I'm John Kipper.
And I'm Yamsley Sinkfile. The Husker football team finished their last spring practice yesterday, and all the hype now is how the team is going to perform Saturday.
Since the Big Red have a new coach in Mike Riley, there's a tad more excitement heading to Memorial Stadium than years past. 65,000 plus tickets have already been sold, with many more expected to show up on game day.
I'm really anxious to watch this quarterback race. I'm not sold on Tommy Armstrong.
I think he's going to end up taking the quarterback job in the end, but with his new Mike Riley-led offense, nobody really knows. For more discussion on what's going to happen on Saturday, we have Michael Shively and the Roundtable.
Welcome to the Roundtable. I'm your host, Michael Shively, and I'm alongside commentators Doug Lowry and Devin Cleach. We'll be joined later by Brent Bonfleur. How are you guys doing today?
Doing wonderful.
Doing pretty good.
Great. Let's dive right into our first topic here, the spring game. Mike Riley finished his first spring camp as head coach, and the public will get their first glimpse of him coaching this Saturday. What are you guys looking for from the coaches in terms of play calls and interacting with the players and fans?
I think like most spring games, it's going to be a pretty vanilla play calls. You're going to have a lot of runs, and then we might get to see an entertaining bit when we see the deep passing game in Mike Riley's offense.
And speaking of that deep passing game, you're going to see a lot because Nebraska wants to get that passing game going because they haven't had it really going the last couple of years. You'll see guys like Jerry Tolbert, who's really shown himself in the spring. You'll see also guys like Jordan Westerkamp and DeMornay Personnel, who are fantastic athletes.
Yeah, and the guys throwing the ball to them, the quarterback position always gets a lot of play around this time, and there is a race right now. Devin, you've been to practice. Doug, you follow things closely. Should fans be expecting Tommy Armstrong to be the man Saturday? A.J. Bush is making some waves in spring camp. How are they looking?
Well, Tommy right now, he's the guy because of his experience. That experience level gets him there. But you see guys like A.J. Bush and Zach Darlington, they have really come on this spring. They've really pushed themselves into the 2 and 3 spots, but with a little more effort, a little more polishing on their passing, those guys could have a chance at making it as a big role in the spring game and even maybe into the season.
Doug?
It's interesting to think Riker Fife, who was the backup on the depth chart last year, is now kind of buried all the way down 4th, 5th on the depth chart. So that's interesting to follow as well.
That's it for our first segment. We'll be back later with Masters analysis and predictions. Now back to the anchors.
Jeez, I better be paying close attention. All this hype for what's essentially a practice.
It is a practice, but for these fans, these Husker fans, it is much more than that. But remember, we are not just sports today. So here's Ingrid Holmquist with today's biggest story.
I'm here at the Lancaster County Jail where former board president and coach for the Lincoln Sox, Jeff Hawks, is being held after his arrest yesterday. He was arrested for sexual assault of a child. This is the second sexual assault victim to come forward about being inappropriately touched by Hawks. After the January incident, the next child then admitted he'd also been touched during a private practice. The latest report happened in 2012 while the male victim was 12 years old. Hawks is no longer involved with the Sox baseball organization, and police say they should come forward and talk to investigator Shampoo at 441-8979 if they have any concerns. This has been Ingrid Holmquist reporting for Star City News.
Thanks, Ingrid. Coming up on Star City Sports, reporter Doug Lowry caught up with some athletes that are a little bit different than what we usually cover. Find out who they are later in the show.
But first, we go to Brent Bonfleur with the numbers game.
With the Masters starting today, we wanted to know how hard is it to hit a hole-in-one. As it turns out, for a pro, it's not that difficult. Camilo Villegas had fans applauding after he sunk the hardest shot in golf in yesterday's Masters par 3 tournament. But the day undoubtedly belonged to the legendary Golden Bear.
What a beautiful
Jack
play.
Nicklaus did the same thing just hours later.
Yes.
Now, for a PGA Pro, the odds of hitting a hole-in-one are 2,500 to 1. But what about an average person? Well, the number goes up to 12,500 to 1. Let's see if we can beat the odds. I guess not. I'm going to take another 12,499 swings at this, but we'll have more on the Masters coming up next on Star City Sports. I'm Brent Pomfleur, and this has been The Numbers Game.
Welcome back to Star City Sports. The par 3 contest took place last night. Kevin Shulman won in a playoff hole, but he didn't win for himself. He shared his victory with caddy 13-year-old Ethan Couch, who has an inoperable brain tumor. Shulman says he now wants to win the Masters, again to share that victory with Couch. The only problem, the winner of the par 3 contest has never won the Masters.
One guy that definitely has won the Masters a few times is Tiger Woods. He, along with the rest of the PGA, teed off today at Augusta National to play in the biggest golf tournament in the world. Tiger is certainly mentioned as a candidate to win this weekend, but right now, he is not on top of the leaderboard. Looking at top of the leaderboard, Jordan Spieth is sitting at 7 under. The 21-year-old almost won last season, but wasn't quite able to make it as Bubba Watson took over. And a few other notables sitting in second place is a three-person tie. Charlie Hoffman, Justin Rose, Ernie Els all sitting at 5 under. Few other notables, 65-year-old Tom Watson at 1 under, Ricky Fowler at 1 over, and the aforementioned Bubba Watson at 1 under. We also mentioned Tiger Woods. He is 1 over after 14 holes. For some debate on who's going to end up taking the green jacket this weekend, Michael, Doug, and Devin are back with the roundtable.
Welcome back to the Roundtable. I'm Michael Shively, joined again by our experts Doug Lowry and Devin Cleach. Guys, it's one of my personal favorite times of the year, the Masters weekend. The first round is underway currently with Jordan Spieth on top of the leaderboard. Do you guys think Jordan's going to be able to hang on to it this whole weekend, or are there some other names that might find their name next to the green jacket?
You know, Jordan Spieth, he's really become a real talent since coming from Texas, and he is in line for winning his first major, and he's a very good player. But I could see, you know, guys like Phil Mickelson, Ricky Fowler, Tiger Woods having their shot at it because they're such professionals.
Mm-hmm. Bubba Watson has won 2 of the last 3 Masters. At 1 under, I don't think you can ever consider him out of reach. So I think that would be my pick.
Yeah, you guys mentioned Tiger Woods. He's always a guy talked about a lot in every major tournament, but Rory McIlroy is getting just as much press as Tiger these days. Is golf experiencing a change of guard right now?
I don't think so. I think, you know, Tiger, you know, if he gets back in line, he can still be at the top of his game. Just got to avoid injuries. Rory's really got to consistently win to be a top dog.
Mm-hmm. I think Rory's picking up a lot of sponsors, though, and he's young, and the women find him attractive. I think that's a good little formula he's got there.
Well, the women find me attractive, but you don't see me winning a Masters.
It's true.
All right, we have some groundbreaking analysis here on the Roundtable. We'll be back one more time in this sportscast, but for now, back to the anchors.
You know, Emsley, I know a lot of people just don't think Tiger Woods can win, but I know he's behind. I think he's going to make a run at it. Who you got?
Yeah, you know, I can't say no to old man Phil. I think that he always steps up to the plate on this big stage, that being the Masters, so I think that he has a chance.
I think Lefty's got a shot. But let's take another break from sports and catch up with Ingrid Holtquist in the newsroom.
Thanks, Amsley and John. I'm Ingrid Holmquist reporting your news for the day. First off, yesterday an 18-year-old reported an attempted robbery and said he was walking home when a man pointed a gun at his head and asked for his cell phone. The boy said he punched the man in the face and then ran home. This apparently occurred on A Street between 17th and 20th Street. In the wake of a number of tragic UNL student deaths this year, the university decided there needed to be an event to honor those who have passed. One student who died last fall, Keaton Klein, used to walk by the Broyhill Fountain on game days and exclaimed that the fountain needed to flow red on special Husker occasions. So UNL is now attempting to honor Klein's wish. The fountain will be lit red tonight at 9 o'clock for the Red Memorial, made to honor Keaton Klein, Cooper Flanagan, Evan Hyen, Colin Hayes, Chase Miller, Zachary Miller, Clayton Reel, Carly Cannon, and Amir Zaffa, students that died during the past school year. Now let's talk about a story continuing the national buzz regarding police shootings. On April 8, Walter Scott was shot and killed by North Charleston police officer. On April 8, Walter Scott was shot and killed by North Charleston police officer Michael Slager. Slager was recorded shooting Scott as he ran away during a traffic stop. Now the man who recorded the shooting, Fiden Santana, fears for his own safety
Thanks, John.
now that
As
he's
you
been
just heard,
identified.
one of the most
He told NBC News this morning he considered staying anonymous, but thanks to him coming into the spotlight, new details in the investigation are now uncovered. In fact, his take on the news leading up to the death contradict Officer Slager's story. This has been Ingrid Holmquist with your news brief for the day.
Thanks, Ingrid. When we come back, Devin Cleach had the chance to speak with a previous Husker volleyball star. Find out who next.
This year marks the 15th anniversary for UNL's Weatherfest in Hardin Hall on East Campus. With Weatherfest, you learn about severe weather, and there's a lot of experiments. Today, we're going to do a cloud in a bottle. So you just take some regular Endest and you spray it into a 2-liter bottle, and then we're going to increase our pressure, so hopefully we can get a cloud. All right, and now we're going to rapidly reduce the pressure. And there you have it. From 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. on East Campus in Hardin Hall is going to be Weatherfest. After this, Audra Moore will have your full forecast.
Good evening, Lincoln. Let's take a look at your current weather. 42 here in the capital city. That fog and mist is still sticking around a bit, though we've seen it clear up a little over the past few hours. Our current wind is from the northwest at 15 to 20 miles per hour. It is gusting, though, at times to almost 30 miles per hour. If we look at our almanac right now, our low this morning was 39 degrees. Our high for today was 48, 14 degrees cooler than our average high at this time of the year. We'll look at our temperatures across the state right now. Fairly consistent, 38 out in Broken Bow, 40 in North Platte. It is cooler out there. They're also seeing some heavy snow out in Grand Island at this time. Luckily, we haven't gotten there yet. We'll see. It could happen tonight. 34 in Columbus, 42 still here in Lincoln, and 34 in Omaha in the eastern part of the state. Tonight, we will have a chance for some showers. It could turn to a few flakes. Shouldn't stick much, though. The ground is warm enough. 33 is our low for this evening, and the winds will be at about the west from 5 to 10 miles per hour. If we go ahead and look at tomorrow, high of 66, those clouds overnight will clear out and give us a mostly sunny day tomorrow. By 9 a.m., we should be looking at 44 degrees, 58 by noon, 66 by 3 p.m., and tomorrow evening at 6 p.m. will be about 65 degrees. Our winds will be out of the west-northwest at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Your Husker spring game on Saturday. It looks to be a great day. If you start out your morning at 10:30, if you're out tailgating, pretty nice, 52 degrees, a light breeze at 5 to 10 miles per hour out of the south. The winds will continue to be out of the south all day, though they will pick up. By kickoff at 1 p.m., we're looking at 64 degrees, a little bit breezier at 15 to 20 miles per hour. After your game, around 3:30 or so, 71 is our temperature, and still winds out of the south at 15 to 20 miles per hour. Our week ahead, Sunday, we'll see a chance of storms again, maybe a few showers, hopefully. 73 is your high. Monday, high of 69. Mostly cloudy throughout the rest of the week. By Tuesday, high of 71. We'll see a few chances for showers again that day. Wednesday, we're looking at a high of 70 and 67 for Thursday. For Star City Weather, I'm Audra Moore. Aimsley and John, back to you.
Thanks, Audra. Jordan Larson definitely has gone down as one of the most successful Husker volleyball players of all time. She has played professionally around the world and also helped guide Team USA to a silver medal in the 2012 Olympic Games. Star City's Devin Cleach has an exclusive interview for our segment, Where Are They Now?
Thanks, John. As you just heard, one of the most prolific volleyball players to ever come out of the University of Nebraska sat down with me today, all the way from Turkey, to discuss her life since she left Nebraska. I asked Jordan what it means to her to be where she is today after coming from a small town.
I kind of was nervous, being from a small town. I didn't think I was gonna get seen, and say that at one point when I was in high school. But I'm really happy that I stayed. I feel like it really kept me grounded and made me really obviously appreciate where I came from, because now I come from small towns, and it's kind of special to, really work hard and to prove that you can do something.
Though Jordan lives overseas because there are no professional leagues in the United States, I asked her if she still follows the Nebraska volleyball program.
Yeah, I tried to follow as much as I can. Obviously, watched the game up at Washington this year, or I don't think I actually watched it. I listened to it on the radio, and I try and do the best I can. The time difference is kind of hard, but I definitely keep track of how they're doing. And
With the 2016 Rio Olympics getting closer, I have been wondering if she has been working to earn a spot on the U.S. Olympic national team.
yeah, definitely. I mean, my goal is to be a part of that team, and we have really high goals for this team going into Rio, and obviously we want to try and do something that's never been done before, and that's win a gold medal.
It's been great catching up with Jordan Larson and having her be a part of the Star City Sports Where Are They Now? I'm Devin Cleach, and let's send it back to John and Amsley.
While the NASCAR season is well underway, the real race is in the association. The Western Conference is wide open as two teams, the Warriors and the Blazers, have clinched their division and are locked in the first and fourth spots, respectively. Everything else, who knows? As you can see, the Warriors are dominating, sitting with the best record in the NBA, and are locked into the 1 spot. Mavericks also have clinched the 7th seed. Every other spot is up for grabs. Looking at the 6th-seeded Spurs, they have a chance to go all the way to the 2nd spot, so watch out Memphis. The other place to look at is the final 8th spot. The OKC Thunder and the New Orleans Pelicans are vying for it. Both teams include MVP candidates Russell Westbrook and Anthony Davis.
Now the East is a little more clear, as 6 teams have their spots locked in, and it's up to 4 teams to battle for those last 2 spots. If the season ended today, the Celtics and Nets are in, but unfortunately for those 2 squads, there are 4 more games left, and the Pacers and Heat are right on their tail, as there are only a game back from getting in. Boston does play the Cavs twice, but it appears LeBron James will be out for those couple of games as he's resting for the playoffs.
You know, Amsley, everybody makes such a fuss about the NCAA tournament, but I'm more of an NBA guy. I'm looking forward to the NBA playoffs a little bit more, quite frankly.
Yeah, you know, I'm more of a college basketball girl myself, but I did hear that Kentucky has 7 players vying for the NBA this next season.
Yeah, they all declared today and taking a lot of talent out of college basketball, and that's just one of many problems college basketball is facing right now. Doesn't need to switch a few things around. We have the roundtable with Michael Shively to discuss.
We're back here at the roundtable. I'm Michael Shively with Doug Lowry and Brent Bonfleur joining us for the first time to discuss the state of college basketball. Dallas Mavericks owner Mark Cuban made news yesterday saying college basketball's play is, quote, horrible. UConn women's basketball coach Gino Auriemma described it as a joke about a week ago. Guys, why all this outrage around the NCAA basketball? Is it actually a joke?
Absolutely, I think it is.
Well, I disagree. I mean, I think maybe, yeah, some rules are slowing the game down, but I don't think it's a joke.
All right, so you guys disagree a little bit here. Why, Doug, do you think that it's a joke?
I think a long shot clock, so much time spent in the bonus. I think the refs have too much control over the game and just low scoring.
All right, Brent, the opposite?
Yeah, I mean, I agree that the 35-second shot clock is slowing things down, but I mean, as far as that keeping players from being NBA ready, I think that just sounds like people like Mark Cuban whining a little bit. I mean, Kevin Durant, Anthony Davis, all these guys played in college and looks like they're doing fine in the NBA to me.
Yeah, one other controversy with college and pro basketball is whether to allow players to go pro out of high school, make them go for a year of college or maybe even more. Where do you guys stand on that issue?
I think it's absolutely necessary to get rid of the one and done rule. Just spending 1 year in college basketball isn't enough, and college baseball actually already does this. They require you to spend 3 years in college if you don't go to the draft immediately. So I think we could see a kind of merriment of what college baseball does and going back to allowing kids to go straight to the NBA out of high school.
Brent?
Yeah, I agree with Doug that players should be able to choose whether they go straight to the NBA or stay in college, but as far as telling them how much time they're supposed to stay in college, I think that'd be something really hard to implement. I mean, remember, you're not just talking about 3 seasons of them playing a sport, you're talking about classes and all the other factors that go with being a student athlete.
Yep, thanks for the insights all day long, guys. That's all we have from the roundtable from all 3 guests today. I'm Michael Shively. Now back to the anchors.
As we mentioned, the NBA playoffs is going to be starting up real quick. Brent Bonfleur is back with the numbers game to explain how you do not want to play those San Antonio Spurs this time of year.
The San Antonio Spurs had a slow start to the season, but recently there's no hotter team. The Spurs are an NBA best 19-3 since February 27th, a streak that includes 9 straight wins by double digits. And it's not like they're just beating up on bad teams. In their last 10 games, the Spurs have beaten playoff contenders Memphis, Dallas, Oklahoma City twice, as well as the NBA's best team, the Golden State Warriors. And how badly did they beat them? In that same stretch of games, the Spurs outscored their opponents by 154 points. Now that's dominance. I'm Brent Bonfleur, and this has been The Numbers Game.
We cover a lot of sports, but one that not a lot of people in Lincoln know about is roller derby.
Our Dogo Valley stopped by their practice last night and found out how much of a family this unique group of girls have become.
The No Coast Derby girls have been competing in Lincoln for 10 years and have a bright future with skaters like Olivia Shelburne.
My name is Sunshine because, well, I'm sweet, you know. And then my number is 666 because I will lay you out really hard.
Sunshine is the youngest member of the squad, but even one of the new girls, Scarlett O'Hurtia, has found a home.
The acceptance. Just there are so many different kinds of women in Derby.
Doesn't matter if you're 19 or 41, here with the No Coast Derby girls, everyone's welcome.
I've skated with people that have their PhDs, that work in the medical field, that are chiropractors. I skate with people that have prison records. I skate with people that are students. I skate with people, you know, from every walk of life, but it doesn't matter. Once you're out on the track, it's just your teammate.
Derby is one of the fastest growing sports in the world due to how accessible it is for anyone.
I think that's why, is that anybody can do it. You don't have to have so many years of training. You don't have to go to several boot camps. You don't have to know everything. You can just come and be willing to learn.
Don't get it twisted though. These girls are still competitive.
One of these days I will make someone cry. It's my life's goal.
Reporting for Star City Sports, I'm Doug Lowry.
If you want to catch the No Coast Derby girls in action, their next bout is April 25th at the Pinnacle Bank Arena. Start time is set for 6:30. You know, Emsley, pretty sure I'd get my butt kicked if I faced off against those
Yeah,
guys.
you know, I think you would get rolled over. Pun intended.
Go on, Emsley.
The number 9 Nebraska women's gymnastics team clinched a spot in the NCAA tournament. The team finished second at the Ames, Iowa Regional and is now preparing to perform in the NCAAs next weekend. 12 teams will compete for a spot in the Super 6 finals in order to crown the team champions Sunday, April 19th.
For the first time in school history, the Omaha Maverick hockey team has made it into the NCAA Frozen Four. The Mavericks haven't had much success in college hockey over the past 10 years, making the NCAA tournament only twice, with no victories either time. The Mavs are currently playing Providence College, and after the second period, the teams are deadlocked 0-0. If Omaha is able to win tonight, they will face off against either North Dakota or Boston U, both of which are mainstays in college hockey.
Unfortunately, I've never been to an Omaha Mavericks game.
You know, I haven't either, but I hear they're making a new arena. I think once that gets built, I'm going to go check it out.
Yeah, I better be right by your side
There
once
you
you
go.
do. Let's now take a look at what's trending in social media with Kelsey Murphy.
I'm Kelsey Murphy, and here are your sports social media updates. Husker football players are practicing more than their dance moves, but these skills won't be used on the field. Before Wednesday's practice, a few Husker linemen showed off their dance moves. They took turns performing to Bruno Mars' Uptown Funk. Check this out. After the dance-off, the boys got back to business. They are looking forward to Coach Riley's debut and getting back on the field. An NFL's player's mistake is not going unseen. Pittsburgh Steelers running back Le'Veon Bell was caught with possession of marijuana in February. Now he is facing a 3-game suspension in the 2015 season. The news is trending. NFL insider Adam Schefter tweeted this today, that Bell is appealing the suspension. Back in 2014, NFL named Le'Veon the most versatile player. Last year, he ranked second in rushing yards. Runners around the country are preparing for the legendary Boston Marathon, and they want you to run with them. Before you cringe at the thought of running 26.2 miles, take a look at this. It's an app that allows you to track your favorite runners. It acts like a GPS device. You simply enter their name and bib number, then take off when they do. The app measures distance and real-time updates. That's all I have for you today. Let's join Amsley and John back at the desk.
You know, Emsley, I'm told by a lot of people that I'm not a very good dancer, but I don't believe them. I'm pretty sure I could beat all those Husker football players in
Well,
the dance contest.
then let's see it. Bust a move.
Well, you know, we're a little limited here. I think I'm going to take a rain check on that one.
Okay, fine.
But Major League Baseball started on Sunday. So far, we haven't seen many runs. Will this trend continue? Brent Bonfor has the final edition of the Numbers Game.
If you're a fan of home runs and great batting, too bad. Pitchers have dominated the start of the MLB season, posting a collective 13 shutouts in just 37 games, the most at this point in a season in Major League history. But are these numbers about to drop? As teams start to get deeper into their rotations, you might start to see more and more fans in the stands taking home a little souvenir. Only time will tell if MLB pitchers are about to become the next victims of the Numbers Game. For Star City Sports, I'm Brent Bonfleur.
That's going to do it for us tonight, as this is our last show of Star City Sports.
We really appreciate you tuning in all semester, and I can say from all of us, thank you.
It really does mean a lot that you guys have stuck with us all year long, and we've had a lot of fun over the last few months. For Star City Sports, I'm John Kipper.
And I'm Amsley Sinkvile. Have a great night.